Once on death row for murdering his ex-wife in Jerome County, Jamie Charbonneau is being granted $20,000 bond. Thanks for watching the news at 6. I'm Joe Martin.
And I'm Amy Burnett. Judge Robert Elgie originally granted the bond last month in a Jerome courtroom after Charbonneau's defense presented new evidence they say was withheld from Charbonneau for decades. Local law enforcement is asking for your help following a string of credit card thefts. Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer claims that the White House is trying to get Sergeant Bergdahl to strike a deal in order to avoid a potentially embarrassing trial for the administration. President Obama faced criticism for trading the Haley native. All right, time now for our first look at weather with Brian Newdorf. A little bit of rain, a little bit of sun. Doesn't really know what it wants to do out there.
No. Well, Relay for Life is getting underway at the Twin Falls County Fairgrounds out in Filer this evening.
The annual event is a way to honor cancer survivors, remember loved ones lost, and fight back against a disease that has already taken too much. Rachel Holt is live at the fairgrounds with the latest on tonight's event. Rachel, how's it going out there? Now for our first look at weather, and I was a little concerned with those thunderstorms earlier today, but it seems like it's cleared out a bit.
We're on a lull. There's still possibility out there.
We begin with breaking news out of Twin Falls, where crews are trying to rescue a base jumper whose parachute got tangled on the bridge. The jumper is dangling from the Prime Bridge on one of the lower beams. As a result, one northbound lane is shut down for emergency traffic. If you're headed that way, you may want to take an alternative route. We have a reporter on the scene, and we'll bring you the very latest.
Joe, I'm here at the Franklin Building Supply stage in Filer, and I have to say this year's fair food selection is impressive. Funnel cakes, elephant ears still remain today, but as time changes, so do people's tastes.
This morning, the city of Twin Falls and the Magic Valley Regional Airport made a significant announcement about this summer's flight schedules. Joey Martin now joins us in the studio with the news. Joey, today was a big day. What happened? While lawmakers were sure the child support bill would sail through special session and be done, that doesn't appear to be the case. The bill spent more than half the day being debated in committee. Eric Gonzalez reports.
From mirrors that dress you to shelves that practically restock themselves, many stores could soon be giving customers a better shopping experience with some cutting-edge innovations.
A water line in Twin Falls broke this morning, sending city crews scrambling to maintain order. Thanks for watching the news at 6. I'm Amy Burnett. Joey Martin for Idaho's First News joins us live from the intersection where it happened. Joey, what's the latest?
That's right, Joe. It's been a busy legislative session with lawmakers tackling everything from education, tax reform, reproductive rights, and guns, just to name a few, and it's not over just yet. One of the more involved processes lawmakers are tasked with each year is the budget. I'm joined now by Representative Maxine Bell, who is the co-chairman of the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee.
Austin Riggs is a typical teenager. He loves football, hunting, and he's looking forward to college. But Austin has an extraordinary story thanks to the nonprofit organization Hunt of a Lifetime.
I was diagnosed 3 years ago in December. It was in my lymph nodes from my waist up.
15-year-old Austin Riggs is a cancer survivor. He was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2011. A lifelong hunter, Austin retreated to the woods to heal.
I was taking chemo and radiation. I still was out in the woods. I'd go out in a tree stand and I'd be so sick I'd wake up for 15-20 minutes and I'd go back to sleep. And Grandpa gave me my shots out there in the tree stand, and I'd still hunt, and I'd still shoot my deer.
For Austin, being in the woods with his grandpa is like being home.
I started out hunting with him since I was 3 years old in the tree stand. Shot my first deer when I was 6 with him, and I've just hunted ever since, consistent. We'll just share stories and talk about school and football and stuff like that.
Every moment we can, we're in the woods together. I've spent hundreds of hours in the woods with him.
It was during treatment that Austin learned of a unique hunting opportunity.
Well, when Austin was sick with cancer and they came through the hospital with a Make-A-Wish and was telling him he could go to Disney World or ride on a cruise ship, and he said, I want to go hunting. And I said, well, we don't offer a hunt.
Later, Austin's caseworker returned with paperwork for a Hunt of a Lifetime.
You know, when times are tough, everyone needs a dream, and looking forward to a hunt like this, a very special hunt, I think is really a great thing for the kids to have to dream for.
Bryant Dunn is one of many volunteers who offer services free of charge to keep the program running.
Elk hunting in Idaho is spectacular. We've got the third highest population of any state in the country, about 100,000 animals, a little more. We're going to go out and work some pretty rough country. We're going to be climbing mountains, gaining sometimes as much as maybe 2,000 vertical feet in a day and covering several miles. We'll be hunting with a rifle, but it's going to be very challenging.
And in the end, Austin went home with a trophy for his wall and memories to last a lifetime.
It looks like a good bull. Congratulations! You just killed a beautiful bull.
In Fairfield, Amy Burnett, Idaho's First News. With winter weather in full swing, the Twin Falls Streets Department is working overtime.
We've got 650 miles of road in the city.
With just 5 trucks, department workers hit the streets. But their work begins long before the storm arrives.
Depending on what the amount of snow that we're expected, we'll come in and we'll start pre-wetting. We have a lot of problem areas.
They target the most dangerous roads and intersections first, like this steep hill on Grandview, which connects with Addison Avenue at the bottom.
We use mag chloride, or we use another product if it's below 20 degrees called geomelt. It creates a surface between the pavement and the ice so the ice won't stick and we can plow it off easier.
Behind the scenes, protocols are in place at the city level to help the streets department.
We have officers that are on patrol 24/7, obviously, and they're seeing the streets and they're driving those streets at all hours of the day and night.
Part of their job is to identify the more dangerous streets and dispatch the plows. In emergency situations where the city is unable to keep up with the ice buildup, city leaders will notify the public.
Through either our website, through local media, and we're working on an alert ID system that will be able to text people to let them know that we would just rather they stay home.
Keeping citizens informed and safe is their top priority. In Twin Falls, Amy Burnett.
We begin with a developing story out of Minidoka County where the sheriff's office is investigating a shooting. It's a story you heard here first on Idaho's First News at 5. Amy Burnett for Idaho's First News has been following the story. She joins us now from the studio with the details. Amy.
Joe, the Minidoka County Sheriff's Office is releasing few details in the case, but here's what we do know. Shots rang out in a rural part of Heyburn Friday afternoon. Multiple law enforcement agencies responded after receiving a 911 call. At least 2 homes are being investigated. Hannelore Fabrash's husband came home around 3:30 and noticed cop cars at a home down the street.
And so he went through the back door into the house to put up the groceries, and he noticed our front door was broken in. So he went back out to tell the police person, and he immediately escorted him off our land, our property, and there has been apparently a shooting down the road, and my house became a crime scene.
It was several hours before she was allowed to enter her home. It's not clear if her home was where the incident originated or if it started at a separate location. Law enforcement officials are not releasing who was shot and whether there were any fatalities. In an interview this evening, Minidoka County Sheriff Eric Snar had this to say.
At this point in time, I'm not able to release too much information. We do have a mile-long stretch of the road shut off at this point. It's an ongoing investigation. There's obviously more than one area that we're looking into.
Now we're told there is a press conference sometime tomorrow morning. We will continue to follow this story very closely and will bring you the latest information as it becomes available. In the studio, Amy